parents, friends, ancestors. You like to be the victim. You like war. First of all, the false idol parent will always possess the behavior of the child and leave it no freedom, nor choice whatsoever, 0%. The false idol doesn't expect a reaction. The false idol solely expects to impose its own will. The false idol will always expect to see the signs of feeling abused in addition to the weakness, faithlessness, inferiority and lack of power that comes along with it. A false idol expects his or her realm to be infinite, endless and eternal. A false idol expects to see in the eyes of its children the same today as what he or she saw in the eyes of its children yesterday, and that's no sign of life, and no sign of light whatsoever. There must never be more light or life to be seen in the eyes of its child than in the eyes of a random picture of a person in a magazine, or than the eyes of a dead person in his or her coffin. There must be no sign of light in the realm of a false idol, never, 0%. The realm of the false idol must be 100% darkness, always. The false idol expects no reaction from his child. The false idol expects no personal contribution from his kid, nor to the material world, nor to the spiritual world. The false idol expects nothing except nodding, bending its head, following, submitting, crawling, and being less than dirt. The false idol expects the child to never open its mouth unless it's expected to. But that's only what the false idol expects from the intuitive point of view. From the point of view, what do we feel? What the false idol expects from the point of view, what's the truth and what's not, is something completely different. The world of the false idol, the reign of the false idol is always the truth. There's no sign of a doubt, let alone a lie in the reign of a false idol, never. The world of the false idol is the only world in the whole creation of the universe, has always been, and will always be. Shame and disgrace falls upon any creature who dares provoking the false idol by questioning any of his or her ideas. Every form of questioning the behavior or the ideas of the false idol is considered a provocation. Even passive questioning, even not doing anything, is considered a provocation. Because in the head of false idols there's always war and conflict going on, so keeping the peace when in the presence of a false idol is not an option. Absolutely not even for half an hour, never. It has never been an option, and it will never be. There will always be retaliation. The false idol will always retaliate in the material world, and chances are few that the child will survive. The false idol will always retaliate in the spiritual world, and chances are few that the child will survive. I've never met anyone, not even in a comments section or anything like that, who said, hey, yeah, what you're writing is interesting. I've never met anyone who told me, yeah, I understand what you're saying. Never did anyone say to me, I can confirm. Don't be confused. The reign of the false idol in this nation is aiming to suppress every form of criticism in the same way regimes of dictators like Kim Jong-un or Kim Jong-il do in North Korea. But it's not political, it's spiritual. We are Flemish, descendants of narcissist ancestors, but there are always people who criticize the regime, or in my case, the false idol. A colleague once told me in China authorities would have put me against the wall and shot me a long time ago. That was nice. Killing a personality to get rid of his critics for good is always nice. Everyone was around, everyone and all his friends, they all had a good laugh. It was innocent. In their eyes, he was the boss's best friend also, he still is. I was the scapegoat at work for 23 years, not only at work, also in my family, everywhere. There's no place in the world where I'm not the scapegoat. It has always been that way. Maybe you should understand I don't control a secret service. I don't know where it comes from. Why would someone expect me to control a secret service? You saw too many movies maybe? Activists keep criticizing, no matter how you treat them, you can try to kill them all, but you haven't succeeded yet. They're still everywhere, even in China, even in North Korea. Is North Korea an exaggeration? Maybe, but I don't exaggerate when I say I'm 49 years old. They still succeed in isolating me completely. I've got no friend at all. I've got no family, but frankly I think my family thought it would be a good idea to have a secret service. I'm a male obviously, and my work is online since 2008, that's 16 years yet. Not only is there no positive reaction online, there's no reaction at all actually, there's nothing. It's a history, it's a religion, it goes along with church morals, and the Catholic Church is the cradle of the most extreme narcissism. The stronger the narcissist, and her church, or his church, the wider the circle of enablers. I don't care anymore about that. God taught me not to care about people that choose to be run over anymore. I can see a lot of people putting videos online, criticizing narcissists, and they've got a lot of comments, and a lot of subscribers. That's great. I pray for their safety and success. But honestly, don't you think it's useless and pointless to criticize narcissists, if you don't criticize Radu-Radu, the mother of all narcissists? Don't think it's a wild beast. She gently ties her strings around your neck, and whispers with a sweet voice. She loves children, absolutely loves them. She's so sweet. She likes dancing, is very good at it, and is very seductive. She's a Catholic, she's a helping hand of the devil. Whatever it may be, it's not a human being, but I've been criticizing it all my life, and at a certain point we'll have to accept the fact that they reign over half a country. I'm talking about the Dutch part of Belgium, the northern part of Belgium. You can keep killing all the zombies as long as you want, they keep getting up and coming at ya, because their life is eternal, as long as we don't kill the mother zombie, it's simple as that. False idolism means power. False idolism is just another word for power. False idolism means power, and false idolism means leaving the kid behind. The kid is weak. And who leaves the kid behind? And why do they leave the kid behind? Your parents leave the kid behind. And who are your parents? They are your ancestors. Why are they your ancestors? Because all your ancestors are older than you, and your parents are also older than you. They are like your ancestors, and they act like your ancestors. They act like your ancestors because they support the same ideas and traditions. Not only your parents are your ancestors, but the parents of other people are also your ancestors. No, they aren't. Yes, they are, because they behave the same way as your ancestors, they handle you the same way, and they also support the same ideas and traditions. False idolism means power, and false idolism is what your friends do. Yes, they are your friends, they're all your friends. But you can walk away. No, you can't walk away. Either they're your friends, or you die. You've got the choice, and you have to choose either this, or that. You've got two options, either they're your friends, or you die. Humanity is in a phase where some people think narcissism is new, and by time it will disappear, or go away, we will overcome it, something like that. People call false idolism narcissism nowadays. It won't go away, and it's not new, because if it was new, it would have disappeared a long time ago. It won't disappear. It will spread out until it becomes a widespread general form of behavior. Why? Because it's normal, and when I say normal I mean it's the norm, because it has always been like that. How is that possible? It's possible, and it's inevitable, because it's impossible for humanity and for humans to steer the vehicle, the ship, in any other direction. Why? Because God made the world like this. The world presents itself to every newborn, after a few years, as a world with parents, and his or her parents have power over him or her. because the kid is weak. It's the same for every kid, because they are your parents, and they are your ancestors, and they are your friends. It's the only people that we know of. We have ancestors, parents, and friends, and there's nothing else. We've got no one else besides them. So they leave the kid behind and oppress him, because they've got the power, and the kid is weak, and later on in his or her life his or her mental injuries will present themselves as guilt. Speak the truth, they say. I will speak the truth. When I say Radu-Radu, it means my mother. Radu-Radu is my mother. My life's purpose is to describe Radu-Radu. But what people don't get is that I don't actually know the identity of Radu-Radu. I describe the actions of Radu-Radu, and it implies that I describe the ideas that are supported by Radu-Radu, but I don't know Radu-Radu the way a child is supposed to know the mother. It's quite a paradox to say there is no confusion here, but I've seen Radu-Radu every day for a lifetime. I'm still like a 3-day-old baby trying to figure out references to recognize its mother, simply put, to get to know who my mother is. I can see a body, and that's it. There must be a creature of the night somewhere that I don't see. It must be somewhere, but I don't know where. I can't see it. People still think it's a straight lie, but this is not Walt Disney, this is not the Renaissance. They're not conscious about what it implies. It's not an accident, it's deliberate, it's the root of manipulation, it's the starting point from where my parents keep confusing me on purpose. That's right, they abuse my lack of reference, which causes my life to be unstable, to make me feel confused, weak, alienated, and make me feel like I don't know what's going on. I don't blame you if you don't understand how it feels. I don't expect you to, but I blame you if you call me a liar. The reason why it's the starting point for my parents to keep manipulating me is because I can't accuse them of doing something if I can't at least get one person to believe my accusations. What I need to get someone to believe my accusations is a valid reason, origin, start, source. Who's going to believe me when I say I don't know my mother? No one. That's my reason, my origin, my start, my source. Jesus called the devil the father of all lies. The father of all lies is a little thief. I don't steal the truth, I speak the truth. A false idol expects to be everything in everything, everything outside of everything, expects to be king, queen, as well as the master of the material world, as the master of the spiritual world. A false idol expects to be God, doesn't settle for less, and hopes it can be a lesson to you, my child. In the name of Jesus Christ, Amen.